Welcome back to another episode of Better Than I Found It, the podcast all things college golf. You're listening to Mike McGraw, the men's golf coach at Baylor University. Today I want to talk about something that happens this time of year. Every year, and that's the start of the new school year. Counting being a student and also being a coach, this is the 54th time that I've experienced the beginning of the year school phenomenon. Around the country, there's going to be thousands of college golfers who are freshmen and will be experiencing this phenomenon for the first time. Along with that comes the obvious excitement of something new, the anticipation of not knowing what's out there, but excitement about it. That's great opportunity they know they have before them. The newfound freedom, they're away from home for the first time. And they're also aware, all of these kids, or most of these kids, are aware that they're going to be making new lifelong relationships, whether that's with coaches or teammates or roommates. It's just really a great start to something new and just a new adventure for all of them. But along with that can come anxiety, great anxiety, some uncertainty, like, will I be able to do this? Will I make the team? Will I be able to survive, 4 years of the competition that's in front of me? But one of the other things that comes about is homesickness. Anyone can be subject to homesickness. Both parents and players need to sort of prepare for that possibility. It's something that could really happen. I was homesick when I was a freshman in college at Odessa Junior College. I remember being homesick, but I also remember I wasn't going home until at least Thanksgiving. So it was August 20th to November 25th, being on my own. Every single person I met was brand new to me, which is exciting, but it's also scary because you don't have any familiar faces to speak of. So I remember the feeling, but I also remember experiencing it as a young assistant coach at Oklahoma State for Mike Holder. I went to work for Mike in June of 1997, and a couple of months later, Oklahoma State had a couple of really, really good freshmen. One was Boyd Summerhays, who was the 1995 number one junior golfer in the country, and Charles Howell, who was the number one junior golfer in the country in 1996. So Coach Holder had a couple of pretty great players that had pretty much dominated junior golf for the past couple of years leading up to college. Charles had actually been the number one ranked junior player, the runner-up, in the U.S. Junior Championship. But all of those accolades they had coming in as freshmen didn't guarantee them anything. It's like you don't have a continuum of success. Just because you're a great junior player doesn't mean you're going to be a great college player. But, a lot of times it points to it. There's probably some predictors that say you're going to be, if you were an AJGA first-team All-American, there's a pretty good chance some of those guys on that list are going to end up being college golf All-Americans. But anyway, Charles and Boyd came in as freshmen, and I remember thinking Charles didn't look very comfortable. He's just this uber-talented player, just like really, really great player. But that fall of 1997, Charles literally played in 4-stroke play events, one match play event where he actually went 3-0-0. But the 4-stroke play events, he averaged 74.0. That was at least 3 shots higher than he had averaged as a junior golfer that last summer. His finishes in those college tournaments were tied for 41st, tied for 44th, tied for 32nd, and tied for 31st. So Charles just had what you would call a really tough fall freshman year. And I remember Mike Holder encouraging Boyd Summerhays to be there for Charles anytime he needed it. Needed someone to talk to. I had that role as well. Tried to help Charles get through that time. For whatever reason, he was homesick, and it affected his play, that was for sure. One of the things we encouraged Charles with was once you go home for Thanksgiving and then Christmas and you get a feel for what's back home, you're going to come back and play great. And the truth is, he really did. He came back that spring of 98, and he was just a freshman again. He played 9 events. Averaged 71.3, so almost 3 shots better. He had 6 top 10 finishes. I think 4 of those were top 5 finishes. He ended up being a second team All-American that year as a freshman, despite that really, really rough start. But I guess it goes to show you that it really doesn't matter where you start. It kind of matters how you finish. But the moral of the story is homesickness is a very real thing. It could happen to anyone. No one's immune. But once comfortable, a young man or woman can thrive. And I think Charles went on to really thrive. The following 2 years after that freshman year, he was first team All-American both years, finished fifth in the national championship as a sophomore. And then as a junior, he set the record at the national championship with an 8-shot victory. And 2 weeks before, he had won the Big 12 championship by 10 shots. So Charles had an amazing career at Oklahoma State, but it didn't get started off very well. And I think he would agree, and he would tell you that the homesickness, just kind of being away for the first time at home, he just wasn't ready for it for whatever reason. But once he got past that, he thrived. He really, really did. And I think if I'm encouraging parents out there to help encourage their young freshmen in college, that just remind them it's very normal. It happens to a lot of players. And, once you get into the rhythm of practicing and playing with your teammates, going to new golf courses if you get to travel, which hopefully you do. But it's just, once you get in the rhythm of college golf, you'll find out, man, it is a great experience. I'm glad I'm getting to do this. Yeah, I'm away from home, but I've got a new home, and that is where I'm playing college golf. Speaking of the beginning of a new season, my Baylor Bears are excited about a fresh new start. I've always believed in this term, and it's hope springs eternal. And so I really believe that we're going to have a comeback year. We've hit a reset button, if you will. We had a tough year last year, probably the toughest of my career, but we have 5 guys returning off that team, and I think all of them are excited about the opportunity that lies before us. And I am, for one. We have a little bit different schedule, which I'll go over here in a minute. And so for all you Baylor Bear golf fans, let's look for something a lot different and a lot better this year. But I'd like to take this opportunity for those fans and just anybody else interested in college golf or maybe this podcast, just take the opportunity to introduce each one of my 9 players to you and just maybe give a little bit of background on each one of those players. I'll start with my seniors. Sam Dossie is an Austin, Texas native, Vandergrift High School. He's a senior, and he's the 3rd Dossie family member to play golf here at Baylor. His oldest brother, Cooper, was a 2-time All-American and is currently playing the Korn Ferry Tour. His middle brother, Luke, played for me. He was here 5 years, played a lot of really great golf, several top 5 and 10 finishes, and got his master's while he was here at school. But Luke is actually now joined his brother Cooper on the bag out on the tour. He's caddying for Cooper, and that's great. So Sam, my current senior, is the 3rd Dossie family, but he's also the 34th member of their extended family. That goes back many, many generations to come to Baylor to go to school. Sam is a wonderful kid. He's a great student, by the way. Has done a lot of really great things in college, including his clubhead speed, I think, has gone from 108 or 9, maybe 109 when he got to college, and he's pretty much cruising up around the 119, 120, so he's increased his speed a bunch. He did probably as good a job this past spring of being a substitute in the postseason as anybody I've ever seen. He was absolutely energetic, enthusiastic. He was a great cheerleader. So we were at Southern Hills, and that's a 72-hole tournament over 3 days, 36, 18, 18. And there was no guarantee he was going to get to play. He studied all the yard. He practiced before every round, warmed up to get ready just in case we called his number. But after 3 rounds, it was pretty obvious we needed to try something for a change in the lineup. And he subbed in and shot 73 the final round, really solid round at Southern Hills. That golf course played so tough. So Sam, the 3rd and final Dossie, entering his final year here at Baylor. I'm going to miss him, but I'm looking forward to a great year out of Sam. One of his very good friends and fellow freshman. Oh, by the way, Sam took advantage of something. He's the only player in my career to have ever done that. He took advantage of a gray shirt, which is where he graduated high school early, so he graduated in December, came in and was a Baylor freshman in January. Now, he didn't get to compete for the team on the road, but he did everything else with the team, played and practiced, and actually showed me that format of entering college can actually work quite well. I think it was really big for him because he hit the ground running the following fall when he joined his roommate, Jonas Appel, as a freshman. Jonas, from Encinitas, California, was a former AJGA first-team All-American. He was on the Wyndham Cup team. He played in 2 U.S. juniors, made match play in both of those, and actually beat Ben James, one of the best players in the last 4 years in college, in the first round, or I think first or second round of the 2021 U.S. Juniors. So Jonas had a really great finish to his junior career, and has played quite well for us. His best finish last year, 5th at the Clerico in Tulsa. We're looking for great things from him and both of those seniors as they prepare to lead the Baylor Bears this year. Our last senior is a transfer, Evan Vo. Evan is from Austin, Texas. He's a transfer from Auburn. He was a regular member of their lineup the first couple of years, had sort of a really, really devastating injury to his right knee, and took him out of the game for quite a while. When he got back, the injury sidelined him for quite a while. When he got back, Auburn had developed into, if not the best team, certainly one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country, and he just wasn't able to crack back into the lineup. So he got into the transfer portal in May and decided that he would like to transfer, and we were very fortunate that he chose Baylor. Evan's a great kid. The 2 freshmen are already calling him Uncle Evan because they're very young and he's a little older, and but he's a great voice of reason, a very calming influence on these guys already as he's come here early to school. So we're really excited to have Evan here, a young man that I actually recruited out of high school and before he committed to Auburn. So we're thankful to have his commitment. Our juniors, we have 2 of them. First is Davis Ovard. Davis is a Frisco, Texas native and the 2024 North-South Amateur champion. Although he got off to a slow start last year in the fall, he had a really solid spring, including 13th place finish at the General Hackler and a round that I saw him play every shot, the second round of the Big 12 championship at Southern Hills. Fired a really solid 68. Just honestly, one of the best rounds I've seen him play in college. The golf course, I think it was tied for the low round that day. So he obviously has some game. He's won some big golf tournaments, and he's had a lot of good golf he's played here at Baylor. We're really excited about Davis coming back. And our other junior is Alex Hurd. Alex is a transfer from UConn. Alex won the Big East individual title last April and is a great addition to our squad. We're really excited to see him. He's a very competitive player and just a really good competitor. So excited to have Alex on board. We have 2 sophomores. One is Martin Kemp from Dallas, Texas, Highland Park High School to be exact. Martin was my first player who took advantage of taking a gap year. It's amazing because Sam was the first gray shirt I'd ever had, and now Martin has become the first gap year. He's a 2023 high school graduate from Highland Park. But I told him his best path to Baylor would be to take that gap year. And interestingly enough, for those coaches out there listening, I sort of made the deal with Martin, and I made 4 or 5 stipulations on that gap year. That one, he had to take a class, so he had to continue something in school. So he took a class online. I asked him to communicate with me every couple of weeks, which he did. I asked him to communicate with me when he was competing, and I think he competed 12 times in that 14 months. So I had several things I asked him to do during the gap year to get ready, and we communicated often. And I think that gap year has really paid dividends. Martin has continued to improve. You know, he was an athlete before he became a golfer. He was a football player, wide receiver, and got to the game a little later than most of his peers. And so the gap year, I told him, would be great for him. His dad agreed immediately. Took Martin a little longer to come to that realization, but he will tell you, if you ask him today, that gap year was one of the best things he ever did. It gave him an opportunity to mature as a player, but also had him itching and ready to play college golf once he got here. His roommate and our other sophomore is Vincent Sternfeldt from Stockholm, Sweden. Vincent's the first European that I've recruited in the last 11 years at Baylor, so he's kind of unique in that respect. The kids on the team nicknamed him the Big Diesel. He's a big man, and he hits it a ton. Vinny just has a load of talent. Loads of talent, and we're just truly hoping for he played a lot for us last year in the lineup, and we're hoping for a breakout year for Vinny this year. Very talented individual from Stockholm. We have two freshmen both from Texas. I've really been taking a lot of pride through the years of recruiting a lot of Texas kids, and both of these kids are outstanding, not just outstanding players, but outstanding students and great kids. The first one is Patrick Babb from Mansfield, Texas. Mansfield High School, played for the Tigers. He played in the 2024 U.S. Junior at Oakland Hills, and he's actually come by the game quite honestly. His dad, Adam, played college golf, plays a lot of mini-tour golf, and is now a golf instructor at Walnut Creek in Mansfield or near Arlington, I guess. And Patrick is a wonderful guy. I think anybody that meets him gravitates toward him immediately. He's a leader, and he will be a leader on this team the next 4 years. I firmly believe that. The other freshman is a really talented player named Tyler Sanford from Montgomery, Texas. Tyler, in the summer of 23, was third in the stroke play at the U.S. Junior Championship. And then he won the 2024 Southern Junior. He played again in the U.S. Junior this year as well. And played nice in the state amateur this summer. So Tyler's a really talented player, and the first left-handed golfer that I've coached since Edward Lohr at Oklahoma State. So it's been 25 years since I've coached a left-handed golfer. And I got to tell you, left-handed golf swings just look good to the eye. I don't know what it is, and I can't believe that I've waited 25 years to get another left-handed golfer. But I'm really excited to have Tyler. So those are the 9 players we've got on the squad this year. We are, as far as I'm concerned, we're tied for first in the country right now. I think every coach thinks that, and I gave that phrase earlier, hope springs eternal. I believe that. I think that we're going to be great. I believe hope's a wonderful thing, and I think these guys, believe that they're going to play well this year, but a lot is yet to be seen. We haven't hit one golf shot yet. So those are the 9 guys for you Baylor Bears. You're going to get to see us a few times this year because we will be in Texas a little bit. So I'll go over the schedule right now. We play 5 events in the fall. The first one is in early September, the Folds of Honor at American Dunes up in Michigan. It's the 4th annual Folds of Honor, and Jay Goebel, our women's coach, took the women's team up there last year, and he loved it. He raved about it. He said, Coach McGraw, you've got to go up there. And so when Dustin Roberts from the GCA extended us an invitation, I gladly accepted. We are really excited about going up there. Heard a lot of good things about American Dunes. The event is on television, so that's even special. Makes it even more special for us. So looking forward to the Folds of Honor. About 7 days later, we'll be going north again to Chicago for the Fighting Illini. Mike Small, University of Illinois coach, who's had an amazing career as well. But he hosts that event every year at Olympia Fields, one of my favorite golf courses. If you listen to this podcast, you've heard that before, but it's true. And it's my 19th trip to Olympia Fields. I always love going back. They treat us well. It's a championship golf course. And it's big boys golf. You go up there, you've got to be able to golf your ball. It's not easy. And you're going to play in some rough, probably in a little bit of conditions up there because it's just starting to get cool in the mornings, but you could have some tough weather conditions. I really, really love going back to the Fighting Illini. As I said, my 19th trip. I won it. My team won 1 year when I was at Oklahoma State. The 1 year I was at Alabama as an assistant coach, we won. And then my team here at Baylor was able to win this in 2019 with Cooper Dossie winning the individual title. So everything about Fighting Illini I love, including Olympia Fields. And I truly respect Mike Small and the job he does every year at this championship, getting a great field assembled on a U.S. Open golf course. Our third event of the fall is in early October at Trinity Forest in Dallas, SMU's tournament, the Trinity Forest Invitational. Trinity Forest just hosted the U.S. Junior last month, so it's obviously a great track. More of a second shot golf course than most of that we see. It's pretty generous and forgiving off of the tee, but going into the greens, it's a real challenge, and the green complexes are unique. They are tough. And we were able to win this tournament back in 2018, but we haven't been back since 2022. So I'm really looking forward to that. Chris Parra and Corey Donnell, the coaches at SMU, do a great job of hosting this event. So we're excited to go back. And they've assembled a really good field this year too. So we're looking forward to that. Our fourth event of the fall is a very special event. We get to go to Southern Hills again. The Clerico has become one of the great fall events. And just in the last few years, it's got a great field this year at Southern Hills that includes Auburn and Oklahoma State and several other great teams. It is named in honor of John Clerico, a really good friend of mine who's an Oklahoma State alum and Oklahoma State donor. But he's put together this tournament in Tulsa that is hosted by Oral Roberts. And John actually participates in the event, so I'm looking forward to going back. We were at Oaks Country Club last year, Southern Hills this year, and the field is stout. So looking forward to that. Another U.S. Open venue right there. Finally, in early November, we go to our final event of the fall, the Capital I Invitational. It's the first time we played it since 2023. Glad to be going back. It's always a pleasure to go to Hawaii, but it's really going to be a pleasure to go back, and the tournament host is Coach Scott Simpson, and you might know that name as the 1987 U.S. Open champion, 1991 U.S. Open runner-up, and lost the playoff, I think, to Payne Stewart. Scott Simpson is a class act and has done a great job coaching. He got into coaching later in life, but he loves it. We've talked several times on the phone about coaching strategy, and I'm thankful Scott has invited us back. So there's our fall schedule for the Baylor Bears. Pretty fired up about that. As I said, the start of every school year is exciting because everybody's tied for first. But that schedule we have has me really excited to get on the road. But before that, we've got to get our team ready. We'll have about 2.5 weeks before we leave for the Folds of Honor once school starts, and we're really excited about that. I might throw a shout out to a couple of our players, former players on the tour. One is Cooper Dossie, who is inside the number for keeping his card on the Korn Ferry Tour for next year. There's still a couple of events left, but really excited that Cooper's been able to do that. He's had a nice run lately with a couple of top 10s and a couple of other top 15s, playing really well. And then Johnny Kiefer, who graduated here in May of 24, played so well on the PGA Tour Americas last year, ranked number 1. He's also currently ranked number 1 on the Korn Ferry Tour. And as I think the last time I checked this afternoon was in 14th place here on Sunday of the final round in Boise, Idaho. So both of those guys, plus other Baylor Bears, Ryan Greider has won on the PGA Tour Americas this year, and Luke Morgan and Brandon Hoff both playing well are both playing also on the PGA Tour Americas. So really happy with our alums. Love it when they come back and visit. I hope they come back for football games this year. But the Baylor Bears are ready for a great year, and I just appreciate all of you all that listen to this podcast, especially you Baylor Bears, because occasionally we get to talk about things that they're doing in pro golf and college golf that are special. But again, thank you for joining me today on Better Than I Found It. I'll be back again next week, probably with a coach or a player, and we'll see where that goes. But thanks again. Have a great day.